What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Zach. We're going to do a commentary watch along like I did a few weeks ago with Michael Tula and JP DeStefano. Let me introduce these fellas. Big driving forces in this fan film with me. Talking about Scream Legacy, of course, the fan film we did. You can find on the channel. So first off, I got Gabe Kainer. He is, let's go through the list. So we got what? EP, co-producer, sound guy, BTS videographer, Ghostface's hand in one shot. Bro, you did a lot on this, and your truck's in the movie, and you're a background extra, yeah, with your dad. And we used your fucking house. So you just left your stamp all over this fucking movie, bro.
I mean, this movie was just the gift that kept on giving, and it is. And it's cool that all those opportunities just sort of presented themselves throughout shooting. And yeah, I'm glad that I could be involved in all those things, all those different capacities for you, Zach, because I think we pulled off something cool.
Yeah, we did. And I can't really imagine what it would have been like without you. Also joining us is Jordan Rhodes, our beloved cinematographer, DP, whatever you want to call him, and also co-producer. And bro, another huge driving force in this movie, man. So, I mean, I think us three were the only people on set every single day. We were there for all of it. It's good to have you here, man. It really is. I know I haven't talked to you much about this. Me and Gabe already kind of did a couple of videos, but
get in here and talk
yeah, dude. It'll be cool to see you guys' thoughts as the movie's playing, you know, like memories or like BTS stuff, trivia, whatever y'all want to talk about. So I thought it'd be really fun, man.
Gosh, but, to just like watch this final product and think about how different it was from that first rough cut when we watched it in here.
Yeah, it evolved a lot.
Yeah, I remember we had a lot of notes after that shit. So
we're all sitting down.
You ready?
Yeah.
Ready? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Sweet.
Nice logo, Zach.
Thank you. I'm working on a more original one. That one was just a template that I got off YouTube somewhere.
Hello. Can I help?
So here we are, opening scene. I know the last commentary we talked about how this opening scene was originally like 3 minutes, and then we went back and reshot the whole fucking thing. So best decision we ever made, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. I still have some of the footage from the first one. I cut a little bit.
Oh, it's so different, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
There was like hardly any suspense at all. There was no cat and mouse. There was no like Ghostface's reveal was just kind of like there. He was just standing there. It was so much different.
And I think the biggest thing was the no voice, like not having Ghostface voice in there, like to start the film out. Like I'm glad we added it because it really sets the tone for it. Really, it feels like a Scream, a legit Scream opening, and you need that voice in that for sure. So I am very glad we reshot this.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad we found Brandon. That was a huge plus.
He's great.
Brandon is awesome.
I think a lot of people, had we released this without the voice at all, I think it would have been one of the biggest complaints. Like, oh, it was cool, but I wish they would have done a voice or something, you know?
Yeah, I'm glad we're not in that alternate universe.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Maybe there is another universe out there where we didn't do the voice.
Yeah, it was fun because this was a fun scene to shoot both times. And so we got to shoot it twice, and you can tell the stuff that we shot the first time because Maciek has a different shirt on.
Yeah. And it just looks more polished, you know, because the first time we shot it, it was like the second day of shooting. We hadn't really hit our groove yet, you know. By this point, we had shot a lot. This was like October, so we had like a nice, well-oiled machine.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to John. Flew out from Florida. Was a trooper. We beat his ass on set. He took a lot of beating.
So many times too.
John, me and John had so many conversations when I would pick him up from his hotel and drive him here. And he's just the coolest guy to have conversations with and to talk about the industry with, and hearing all of his amazing stories and the people he's worked with. It's awesome.
I love John.
He's an amazing guy.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you guys but John was one of the first people I met in the film
Oh, for real?
business thing when I first started doing this. So me and him go way back, man. We've shared a lot of good conversations and memories and stuff. So I'm glad he was able to be a part of this all these years later.
Yeah, for sure. It's awesome.
And then here we have David. So I mentioned this in the last commentary, but David and John here are like 4 months apart right now.
Time travel.
But the editing works so well together, you know, because Calvin here was part of the original opening that we shot in July. So it was cool that I was able to leave him in there. We didn't have to reshoot any of his stuff.
Now, this part coming up, I was really nervous about getting this part right. With the blood.
Yeah. That was Gabe.
Yeah. Did we do that in one take?
Yeah, it was one
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
It was,
No.
wasn't it?
Yeah. And that was John Schilling as Ghostface in that part, right?
Yep.
Dude, I will tell you, one of the hardest visual effects I did in this was removing myself.
Oh, really?
All reflections, yeah.
Was it that bad?
It wasn't bad. It was just like it was the most time consuming.
Yeah.
I think I was in,
You were in 2.
Yeah. We didn't have the ability to like block out the windows and everything. So I just had to deal with me getting in there.
Yeah, like right there, you were back there in the window.
Yeah, I had to paint myself out there. But
That's rough, man.
yeah, that just goes into like, you know, our smaller budget, not having the big equipment. We couldn't, you know, block any windows out. So
Yeah.
just eye on visual effects.
What I love about this whole opening is just the location. Anyone who's outside of that building can look directly in, and that's part of what makes it scary, because it's just a glass, all those glass windows. He's just exposed to the outside world.
And didn't we toy with the idea of Ghostface being outside behind the window, or no?
We did.
I think
at
we
one
did.
point.
It just didn't. We couldn't get it to look the way we wanted it to.
Yeah.
But Gabe,
I love. What was that?
I was just saying, I'm glad Gabe brought that up, because that was a real fear I had every time we shot there.
Oh, really?
The open windows. It's like being in there alone, like putting up lights or whatever. It's creepy.
Yeah.
It adds to the environment.
Yeah, me and you would be out there like setting up lights, and then sometimes like you turn around and I'd be like, oh, no one's around, I'm alone. And,
Yeah. Especially late at night, almost like 11, 12, 1 a.m. Nobody here, just dark as shit.
Yeah, and then I look behind me and Ghostface actually is behind me, but he's inside through the glass.
There were so many times. I think Drew wore the costume at one point.
Yeah.
And, like turned around the corner, like went to go get dressed, was gone for like 5 minutes, comes walking around the corner in full Ghostface costume, and it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
Dude, so many people wore the costume, man. This costume got tossed around like a whore.
That tapping on the window is sort of a nod to Scream 1 in the car.
Yeah. I love that shot, Jordan. How we got that run by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all you, brother, and I'm glad you said that. That was such a badass shot.
That's from outside the window.
Yeah.
You had a lot of really good shots in this movie. A lot of shots that were your idea, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jordan, this movie, $1 million.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love this. I love that shot right there.
Yeah.
That slow pan you did on the floor with him. That was great, man. And
You can
John
tell-
really sells it here with his face.
You can tell the scenes where I had my dolly,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's what we were saying in the last commentary. There was like 3-4 months worth of shooting. We didn't have the dolly yet. It didn't come into play until later in the shoot. So it's like, man, there were some other shots and older scenes. I wish we would have had the dolly, but it is what it is, you know?
Have it going forward from now. So that's good.
I've always loved this shot too.
Yeah, and I like the muffled sound. That adds a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love how every time Ghostface moves, he really does move like a ghost, like he's floating.
Mhm.
He never just walks like a normal person.
Yeah. JP was insane.
Honor, they all nailed it.
Yeah.
Everybody who wore the costume nailed it.
Yeah.
This part, though, stayed relatively the same from the opening.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for the most part.
I don't think there was any dialogue on the original one, was there?
No, it was just more so him yelling for Calvin. Like,
Oh,
Calvin,
yeah.
help. Now, here's this shot. This is all you, Jordan. Fucking mountains in the background.
I remember we were going back and forth when I was sending you that shot just to see, like, hey, do you like this? Do you want me to try a different font or whatever? And something just fell off. And I realized it wasn't the water tower. It was like, we're supposed to be in Woodsboro and it's flat. We're supposed to be in California flat. So I just wanted to do something to kind of like settle us into this world, into the Scream universe. And
Yeah.
I think
Well, it worked because I remember somebody saying, like, where'd y'all shoot that shot? Like, here in Texas? Like, where do they have mountains in Texas? I'm like, dude, bro, all the mountains back there were VFX.
Quarter, apparently.
They were like, really? So that was cool. The fact that, you know, I mean, this person wasn't a filmmaker, so I'm sure they don't really know the process, but the fact that you were able to kind of fool them a little bit, you know, it looks good. It looks good.
Yeah.
And shout out to your car here. Your car was a little whore in this movie. We used it a lot.
They do use it a lot.
I got to drive it a lot.
Yeah, that was actually you driving right there, right?
Yeah, do you realize how difficult it is to drive a Tesla and have to drive it slow?
Yeah, right.
Fun.
So, Jordan, let's talk about how frustrating this day was at the bar.
Oh, this day? Oh my goodness.
It was also hot outside.
We were so limited on time, and we had shot the night before until like 2 a.m. And we were up here at 7, I think, 7, 8. It was a rough day.
It was. And then we had
a lot
to
of
shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one scene in the movie that I like wish we could have gone back and reshoot, you know?
Yeah.
Dad.
There's a lot of coverage. There's a lot of coverage in this scene sequence that we missed some angles and missed some stuff, but we just didn't have the time. You know, we just did not have the time, and we couldn't get a lot of the actors back after this. So I think we did pretty good, all things considered, but there's a lot of stuff I wish we would have done.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Differently, but hindsight's 2020. You know,
like
at the end of the day, it's a very, very cool location. I'm glad we got to shoot at this bar.
Oh yeah, it literally is like a burrow in the woods. It looks like they're just in the middle of the woods at a bar.
Yeah, and what else is funny about this sequence is none of the extras in the backgrounds have food, drinks, or anything on the tables. They're just sitting there.
I love how Jackie's actually surrounded by Ghostface in this shot.
Oh yeah,
on both.
Yeah.
With
You talking about Kainer back there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Now, of course, one of the things about this movie is everybody has called up front he was the killer. That was kind of I didn't really mind that. My thing was trying to the twist on who he was is what we were going for. Like, that's the big twist. Like, I had a feeling, you know, and I wish we would have done a scene where Tula would have been in danger at one point just to kind of throw people off his scent. Like, oh shit, maybe he's not the killer. But we just never got around to it.
Well, I always kind of looked at it as sort of a reverse psychology thing, because you look at the original Scream and it's really obvious at the beginning that Billy is the killer, but they do so much, they do so much after that to throw you off of his scent. But yeah, I always sort of looked at that as a reverse psychology thing.
And yet you never complain about that. You never hear people complain about that. Oh, that sucks. I knew Billy was the killer right off the bat. Blah, 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 blah. You don't really hear people say that. So now here we are at the house that you guys are sitting in right now.
Yeah, dude, I can't tell you how surreal it is for me. Not only it's a dream come true to have my hometown that I grew up in, the town that I discovered Scream in, to have that be in a Scream fan film like this, that's already crazy enough. But then to have my house, this room, it's that
awesome.
Animatronic
behind you is the one that's in the movie.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Now, everything you see here with Ellen as Zoe was the last big day of shooting we had with actors. Everything after this was like just drone shots and pickups.
Yeah, and the day before this was the cemetery scene with Jackie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the That's the stab shirt that I'm wearing right there.
Yeah, it is.
It shows up in the film twice.
Yeah, yeah.
I just now noticed.
I'm so grateful to you, Zach, for letting oh, there's Aaron.
Yeah, I love Erin, man. I'm glad we got to get her in this.
Yeah, I was after
She's such a good actress, man. You know, I would have loved to have had a bigger role for her, but just the fact that we could squeeze her in somewhere, man, it made me feel better because me and Erin go way back. You know, obviously she's with Tula in real life, and I know them two very well, and we all three go back a way, so it was nice to get both of them in this.
Yeah, me and my dad hung out with them afterwards after we shot this scene for a while and just had a few drinks, and they were awesome to hang out with. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. And Jackie actually just moved to New York last week or the week before, so she's up there with them now.
Oh, I'm about to be in New York.
He's about to go to New York.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
You're going to New York? No shit.
Yeah. Little trip.
Nice.
Yeah, Zach, I'm so grateful to you for letting my dad be in the movie.
Oh,
because my dad got me into Scream, so I wanted to get him into Scream. So because of you, we were able to do that. So thanks, man.
Yeah, of course, brother.
Yeah, this was I was probably me and Connor had a lot of fun. I got to know Connor really well on this day too, because we were just talking back there.
Yeah, Connor's a great guy.
Yeah,
A lot of fun to be around. Now here's our other boy, John Enoch. Love this cat.
he's a big Scream fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff with him as an actor. You know, he's gonna be in this next movie I'm doing. You know, he's got a really big part, and he's been kind of helping me with the story here and there with Anthony. And just, man, when you find certain people that you just mesh really well with. Shout out to Art back there wiping the bar down.
Yeah,
He's Troy's good buddy. I love Art, so it's nice for him to let us shoot here at this bar. He works there. But yeah, man, when you find certain people that you just mesh so well with, it makes the process so much easier.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know, there's so much chemistry and just.
I didn't know you were coming back.
Now
Have
this is one of the reshoots.
yeah.
There we
So
go.
glad we reshot this scene.
How's school?
Yeah, I wish we could have reshot everything from that day, but that's okay.
What else was that day?
No, I just,
Oh, you mean at the bar? You mean at the bar?
Oh, just or yeah, that
Yeah.
night I think.
you know.
No, I think that night didn't we do the?
That night was the finale.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure. So like both of my appearances in this were shot on the same day, or it was like 4 a.m.
Oh,
after
yeah.
this. After that stuff at the bar, but
We did all the scenes, the ending scenes at the house after that.
Yeah.
I believe.
No, we had already done that. Oh no, you talking about the end with Julia and Jackie, right?
No, I think this was the night where we were, or was it the night before that we were up to like 4 a.m.?
it all blurs together.
Yeah, I don't know.
It really does. The night before this, I know for a fact, was Anthony and Troy upstairs.
Okay.
Or the night before the original bar stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I know that one for sure.
Yeah.
But the night before this scene right here was the garage stuff with. So Enoch the night before this had just gotten his ass beaten in the garage, so he was tired,
All right.
Yeah.
but he's still a
do,
champ.
See you around.
did we do the original Ghostface versus Will fight after the bar stuff?
No, that was earlier on in July.
Trying to think what else we shot that day, but
First day of shooting.
first day of
Yeah,
shooting.
fine. Yeah, first day of shooting this scene. Very first scene we shot for this.
Yeah.
Kind of a fun fact.
I think we went 2 cams here and got double covered for this. But
Yeah, and I'm a big advocate of doing that. I love that because it just makes it so much easier to edit, and it makes it look so more realistic because they're actually talking to each other.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, this scene, I remember seeing an early cut of this scene, and I was like, okay, this movie is gonna work. This is gonna be cool because
These are two very important characters. It's the
Yeah.
cop.
yeah. And they just like their chemistry together is really good.
Yeah, and that's what I love about this scene too, is it's all one long take. I didn't have to use a different shot from another take we did. You know, it was all just so good. Because they're naturals, you know. Troy's been acting for a long time, and Anthony's been acting for a while too, and he's been a New York Broadway actor. So these guys have experience.
Yeah, and it shows.
It shows. Yeah, it shows.
I mean, we still love each other, but man, this job.
And the music too. I always got to shout out Lance, man, with the music here.
Away from it more.
Absolutely.
And David, Lance and David,
But been talking to me again, at least. So
both of them just rescored the entire movie and just made it so much better.
you're lucky, man.
Yeah, I messaged Lance after the movie came out and I heard the score, and I just told him how great of a job that he did on it. It's an amazing score.
Yeah.
And I messaged Brandon too to tell him how good his Ghostface voice was. It's cool that
That's good. That's good that you guys are staying in touch and stuff.
Yeah, it's cool that we have such talented people who we haven't even met in person that are working on this and that are such valuable contributors to this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was in the back seat here having the time of my life.
Yeah, you were.
Ooh, Mike.
There's a Freddy Krueger glove. That's a Freddy versus Jason standee.
What I love about like all the stuff we shot here is like we didn't do much for set design. Like
No.
Like, that character, that just lover of all things Ghostface.
Well, I did spend a lot of time putting in the right VHS tapes. Like all the VHS tapes are movies that were referenced in the Scream movies, and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff in here you can't see that.
Yeah, I know we had a different angle that we didn't use that had. I think Jordan started on the videotapes.
Yeah.
There's kind of the tapes there, but
you could. There's the Funko Pops.
But this is all stuff that you already had, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, there's me as a little kid in the pictures back there, which is kind of weird to see every time I watch them. Yeah.
I really like some of the stuff we did here with Zoe, because if you think about it, we shot a lot of this in 5-6 hours. We didn't have time at all to do any of this.
shot, like the last,
Yeah.
This was the last scene, pretty sure. So we were already, like you said, a well-oiled machine. We were just on it. We were ready to jump in and get it done.
Yeah, we shot this all really fast.
Yeah. A lot of these angles were thought of the day we got there, and we only had Ellen for 1 day. So it was we got to squeeze so much in. There it is behind her.
The room we're sitting.
That's it. But yeah, we had so limited time to shoot all this, man. It was crazy. I wish we would have choreographed the fight in the kitchen a little bit better, but we were on such a time crunch that day, man. It was rough.
Yeah. I do. I agree with that. I think we could have choreographed it better, like the fall. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see.
100%. Yeah.
But other than
That gets a lot of shout outs to her fall. And I totally understand.
I think it would have been cool to maybe have Ghostface stab her in the leg, give her some reason to stay there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, but I think we were really, really hell bent on getting that refrigerator slam. And
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think if we would have had a little more time, we could have really ironed out this scene. But I still think it works, and this is one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah. Yeah. All things considered, man, just no prep time, no time to choreograph anything hardly, man. It was just, I think all things considered, it turned out pretty good. And I really like this jump scare right here. Yeah, that fall just the fall kind of kills me every time, but
But people
Yeah.
yeah. Also, fun fact, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last commentary. I think I did, but when he stabs her and he lifts the knife up, the VFX that you did there, Jordan, the stuff coming out, the particles and shit and the blood was just so awesome right here.
I appreciate that.
It's hard to tell, but you can see it's there.
I wanted to do it in a way where it's you don't really see it, but your brain picks up on it and notices it's there.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make it too. I could have done something where it splattered everywhere, but
yeah, you didn't want it to be too in your face, or nothing too crazy. So this was the second to last day. This is the last day we shot with Jackie, and
All right.
the only day we had with Caroline. Glad to get her into the movie. I love Caroline.
Caroline killed it. Her and Jackie just feed off of each other in this scene. It's really cool. I enjoy this scene a lot.
Me too. And I think that in hindsight, I would have liked to have probably fleshed out the Beth character a little more, you know, and kind of made her a little more relevant to the story. But you know, that's kind of what you get when you when you add things later on in shooting. But all things considered, I really enjoy this scene. It's just a nice conversation.
Yeah, and people do respond really well to Caroline's character. Like in all the reaction videos I've seen, people actually react to her as sort of being a red herring character also.
Yeah, it makes me wonder. I wish we should have played around with that a little more. You know, would have been cool to kind of play with that, you know, maybe look further into that. But also another note, we were up against a time crunch here because we were losing daylight fast.
Yes, I was trying to keep cool, calm, composed, but I was kind of freaking out on this day because we were. I think sunsets, like let's say it was like sunsets at 6:30. We were filming until about 6:28.
Yeah, we were pushing. There was actually a wide shot that we got. I used the.
We're saying
yeah.
Let's just get it anyways.
This was Jackie's last day of filming.
Yep.
So what else is going on? I'm you know, just focusing on me. I'm in school right now.
Oh, I remember those college days.
Didn't you go to Winslow with my mom?
Yeah, I was supposed to, but it fell through at the last minute.
That was probably for the best. I'm sure.
And to everybody who's pointed this out, yes, I think Jackie did unintentionally slip up and said Winslow when it's supposed to be Windsor College. So I know a couple of people have asked about that.
I hope Jamie.
It was so loud, you know. I couldn't really hear the dialogue that well. Luckily, they were on lavs, so the audio came out pretty well. But watching it being filmed, couldn't really hear her. So I would have caught the slip up had I heard it, but it's okay. What were you gonna say about Jamie Kennedy?
Oh, I said I hope Jamie Kennedy appreciated the Randy shout out.
Yeah, I mean, some people might say it's too fan servicey, but it was cool to name drop Randy in there.
I think it's
just
kind
for the hell of it.
It builds on the lore because I would imagine her character is someone who knew them back in the day.
Well, and I saw another comment, like someone said this scene is kind of doesn't make sense because, well, Sydney never had a friend named Beth Hawkins. Like, well, how do you know? You didn't see all of her friends in the first movie. She could have had a friend off screen.
It's a good point. It's a fair point.
And Tatum could have had a friend, and then maybe she was Tatum's friend, and then became Sydney's friend.
Yeah, you never know. Now, let's see here.
Times.
I remember
We're trying to get the right positioning.
Yep.
Told to move it up, and then told to move it back down, up again, back down.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, day 2, right? Or day 3? Day 2?
Day 2.
Day 2, I think. Yeah.
This was a lot of fun, man. Drew and Omar here with Troy and Anthony. Anthony and Omar go way back. They have a lot of experience together, and I remember this being a fun day. A lot of people were here on set, cast and crew. And fun fact, John Maziag is actually laying on the couch under the covers this whole scene.
Didn't we get a shot of like Omar pulling the sheet back and seeing John's face?
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted it to. His face was supposed to be bloody as shit, and John was like real clean here, so I just cut right before we showed him.
Got it.
But this was a fun day. Fun night.
That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, that was my welcome to the
Drew and Omar. I love those guys too.
Yeah.
A lot of exposition and backstory here, you know, but I think it was needed to kind of help further Anthony's character.
Every time Omar said the name Sidney Prescott while we were shooting, and when I watch it, it gives me chills.
The secretary says she came in and found him after a week on vacation.
Drew plays that part so well. He provides
Yeah.
it's like comedic relief. Like he just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's a lovable cop, and for me, I think it works well because everything's so tense, and he's just like has this like joking nature to him. And I think
And he's
real,
sort of in awe of Castillo too. at
oh yeah,
first.
for sure. I love this shot right here.
I love a lot of Troy's reaction shot because Troy has like one line in this entire scene, but all of his reaction shots are just so on point.
Oh yeah, and it's also showing like their camaraderie. He knows what things might trigger his partner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so it's really cool how we included that. You know, really shows that they've been through things together, and he knows his partner. So
Yeah.
I like that.
Now here we are at the house, the fucking house.
God, I love
Shout
this.
out to Gabe here. Gabe's in the car right here, not Jackie. FYI. I actually had to cut that. I had to cut that scene a little early because the closer the car gets to the camera, you can see your face in your glasses. So I had to trim that.
Yeah, you can probably just see me smiling, like, making
Yeah.
a screen. Oh,
Now this was early on, the stuff with Jackie here.
this stuff right here, though. Didn't we shoot some stuff out here? Because I was in the Ghostface costume out there. Because it was the same night we shot my hand. We shot some stuff out in the street, and I was.
Yeah, I think we got Jackie pulling up or coming out of the car again, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably something like that.
You guys remember how many times we had to move that basketball goal?
Yeah. And here's Gabe's truck making it into the movie.
With the bullet hole making it look even more suspicious.
Do all the behind the scenes clips, and this is by far like the funniest night we had.
Really?
Yeah, I was off the behind the scenes camera to Tula, and it was fun.
Shit. See, I'm actually interested in that because I don't know any of the shit you shot on BTS. I haven't seen anything.
Ooh, can
So
we
that-
talk about? I don't know if anybody will see this, but it's just like something I put in for myself. On the license plate on that car, when Julia walks out of the house, I replaced that with my own license plate.
Oh, I thought I told you I didn't end up using that.
Oh,
It's
you
not
didn't?
there. No, it just because there was like 2 or 3 more shots after where it was supposed to be there as well, and I thought it was just that one first shot.
I was about to say, I was like, really? It's in there? I didn't think it made it in.
Oh man, I haven't even checked on it. I just
Well,
No,
assumed it-
go ahead though. Tell them what you did. They got to hear what you did.
What was your name again?
Yeah, I just put it in the license plate. I pulled a little Spider-Man and I made my own little custom license plate and did I think I did WSCR 96 West
Yeah.
Craven. So,
It was a nice nod. It was a nice nod.
Yeah.
what did you say?
Or was it 39?
No, it was 96.
96?
Yeah, for the release date,
Cool.
the original release date. It was just something I threw in there.
See, this right here is one of the shots I wish we would have had the dolly for. The one I was talking about earlier. But I do love how she really sets the tone of like, man, she's happy to be home, you know, because you got to think, man, nothing's really happened here in Woodsboro in like 20 years. So it's been peaceful. So, because I know a lot of people are like, well, why would she go back to Woodsboro? It's like, bro, it's just been 20 fucking years since anything's happened. So at this point, things are over and done with. They're all settled in. Everything's fine. So I like how she embraced that.
Yeah.
It's like she's happy to be home, you know?
Come back.
Zach, did you talk to Jackie about the wardrobe? Because that's obviously very reminiscent of Sydney's wardrobe.
I don't want to say I don't want to confirm or deny anything here because I don't remember if the jean jacket was her idea. I don't think it was mine, honestly.
Yeah, only bad things.
I don't want to claim.
Well, either way,
I don't remember. I'll have to ask Jackie about that.
We were just catching up on some personal stuff.
But I know we wanted to pay some homage to Sydney. I do remember that. But I think Jackie already had the jacket.
Well, I can have some secrets with my best friend.
Jackie's look in this was really good though. Like I'll bring it up later when it happens, but there's just one really cool shot we got of Jackie. And I'll point it out when it comes up, but
Okay. Okay.
I-
Cool.
see it as like a Funko Pop or something.
Really interesting.
I would love a Funko Pop of Tula, like unmasked with the robe holding the gun.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I was gonna say, by the way, so originally we were gonna include a scene like maybe after Tula drives off here. I wanted to do some type of scene where like he's in the truck and he turns around real fast, like there's something behind him, just to kind of imply that he's been attacked. So to kind of throw off the audience, but we just never did.
Yeah, like he could have had like Ghostface mask hanging up in the back seat, and we could have like played with it in the back seat. But really, obviously,
Yeah.
on him.
I like this little moment here with the sisters. That was a nice little music score.
And they were both too.
Oh yeah, they were amazing.
Yeah. Fucking Drew just standing there like a OG.
Well,
I like his tie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you probably won't. Do you know where Sidney Prescott is at nowadays?
So
And what
this
a
scene.
coincidence.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. What a coincidence that
Are they still in town?
Dewey and Gale are in New York in our movie, and also in New York in Scream 5.
Yeah, that's what we talked about last time, man. It's just crazy how that happened. We had when we were shooting this, we had no idea what Scream 5 was going to be about. Just total coincidence.
Let me make some phone calls.
And
But
we
I was
shot
going to
all-
say, this scene right here was shot in July, and then we cut to this, which was like now September or August or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we do now?
So much later,
I'm gonna make a phone call to one of my contacts in the FBI. See if we can get some answers.
but it's so seamless, you know.
In the
Yeah.
meantime, let's do some research. All right. I'll call my wife. Let her know I'm not coming home for dinner.
That,
Yeah, we had to throw that in there.
I'm surprised more people haven't said anything about the melted chocolates.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I've not seen. I don't think I've seen any comments about it.
Well, now there will be.
Maybe now there will be. But
Well, it's funny because I think it was the first night we shot with the chocolates. It looked fine, but I think we shot that one scene where she sits back down with it. And by the time we shot that, she had opened it and they were all just fucking melted and shit and just nasty.
Yeah.
oh, and it was hot around this time of the year.
Yeah. People seem to really respond well to this scene. They like all the stuff from the previous movies in the scrapbook. And the score is amazing.
Yeah, I was about to talk about the score, man. The score is just what you have here is David's wife, Kara, doing the vocals. Like she's literally doing the vocals right here herself.
Who that
So
was.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Wow.
That
Just
wow.
It goes so well with Sydney's lullaby too.
yeah, one of my favorite pieces of music in this.
In the same spirit of that, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like the chocolates?
Hey, you're awake?
All right, Jordan. So talk to me about some of your thought process here. Like when we were trying to capture the tension here. Because some of the
So,
shots you got here are just fucking incredible.
I appreciate that, man. Everything that I did, like obviously not this, but like when she's looking up and we're cutting from the angles above, I put almost like she was being watched. Like if you notice, like the shot of the phone looks like it's over her shoulder. The shot of her getting up is through the staircase. So I just wanted to make it feel like she was being watched. So that's kind of the idea I was going for there. Just that uneasy feeling of like somebody being behind something looking at her. So
Yeah, yeah.
That definitely comes across.
this shot was one of the hardest shots to get just because there was no room up there.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. And you know, I think we reshot that twice, right?
Yeah, we did. Because I just wasn't happy with it. I couldn't get like to get the focal length I wanted. I had to be like right on the other side of the stairs. And it was
Yeah,
just-
yeah, that was rough, man.
we didn't have the right kind of ladder that day or anything either. So it I saw some people getting confused, thinking that that was John again.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I didn't even think about that.
That was actually a reshoot too. We originally had
Yeah, yeah.
this on the stairs.
Yeah, and we had the whole fall where they fell down, or she fell down the stairs.
Yeah.
Which is probably why she's limping.
Someone asked that, why is she limping? I was like, well, there was a whole sequence that we cut out that she fell down the stairs or Ghostface pushed her down the stairs, and it did not come out the way we wanted it to. And it kind of didn't make sense either. It made more sense for him to pop up outside the first time instead of randomly upstairs.
Yeah, by doing that we added like, well, I guess she went into the bedroom in the original version as well. But
yeah. Well, see, I was going to point out here too, and I said this in the last commentary, but in case people haven't seen that one, obviously with us as a fan film, normally in real life, if we had a Hollywood film and a set, I totally agree. Ghostface is going to bust through the door there, but we can't do that, so we got to kind of work with what we have, because I've seen a lot of people say, why didn't he just break down the door? It's like, well, we kind of can't do that because that's not our house. So just to clarify that again.
Can you imagine though, like, had we have been able to do just like,
oh, dude,
anything we wanted, how different it would be?
Oh yeah,
there would have been so much blood all over the walls, and
so much stunts, so much just
that back.
It would look like my treehouse.
Like the scene later with Phoenix, I would have loved to have Ghostface just like bust through the window. Or
the
door.
Glass. Oh, that would have been so savage, man. Now this scene right here. We were at my mom's work for a while. This is upstairs. And this was the night before the bar stuff. So we were shooting pretty late this night. And fun fact, too, I think I said this before, but Troy is wearing flip-flops in this scene because he had a really bad foot infection this night. So just fun little tidbit.
I forgot about that.
You remember that? He had like fucking flip-flops on.
Yeah.
I remember there was one version of the scene where we talked about, or I think it might have just been me and you talking about it, and it never like made it that, but having the camera rotate around them.
Yeah.
It didn't feel Scream ultimately, but it looked cool for the BTS stuff I shot.
Yeah, I do remember that. Talk to the people real quick about your lighting choices here, because I like how you kind of went a certain style with this, not the standard,
Yeah, that almost top down, like dark background. Everything that you need to see is illuminated. Everything else we kind of keep in the shadows, and almost like they're shining a spotlight on all the evidence that they have, and they're sitting there. They need to solve this case. It's right before their eyes. They just have to piece it together. So top down lighting just on everything, all the evidence that they had. So that was the motivation for this light.
Yeah, I thought it gave it a really good, distinct look just for this entire scene. It really just puts you right there in the moment with them.
And also, I wanted to hide the fact that we were in kind of like a office space. I wanted it to look more like kind of conference room that could be attached to a library or some kind of like public records place or something. So
now, of course, here we get bombarded with Easter eggs and stuff to the original trilogy. Basically a lot of Castillo's backstory. So that was fun to play with, finding all these articles and stuff and just really tying this into the original movies.
Yep, I thought that, and again, like I've seen a lot of people say this, like the way you did that and the way you added these little Easter eggs and these tie-ins, it was very tasteful. It wasn't like most fan films where it's just you're throwing it at the audience face or shoving it down their throat. Like you did it in a very tasteful way where it doesn't, it adds to the story. It adds to the story. It doesn't, there's no halt in the story. Like it goes with it and it just flows with it. There's no like, hey, let's pause the story for a second so I can show you this Easter egg or I can fan service you. Like, what I really appreciate about all the Easter eggs that you did and the way you handled that in this.
And also a lot of the characters are sort of new to this world and don't know a lot of the previous events. So a lot of the
right
is directed towards them. So it's a good way to fill those characters in, but also fill the audience in and also have the Easter eggs. So you're really accomplishing a whole bunch of things at once.
So what do you think it is?
Yeah, that was my main goal, was trying not to get too in your face with the with the callbacks and stuff. I tried to make every little Easter egg and nugget relevant to the story somehow, whether it be through someone reminiscing, someone talking about a past case, or someone giving information from something that happened before. You know, I just tried to be clever with it. You know, because you're right. There have been fan films where it's just boom, 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 Easter egg, Easter. It's like, okay, we get it. It's a Friday the 13th movie. Holy shit. You know. So yeah, that was a lot of fun to kind of go down memory lane and throw some eggs in this.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that's also really subtle too. It's less explicit Easter eggs.
Text me the address. Gotta go.
Yeah, like one of the things we didn't really talk about is like I know that I was trying to get my own Easter eggs in there too, like the way I shot, like
Yeah.
shots, like
Like the Himbry shot.
the Himbry shot with
Yeah.
John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great stuff. Now, okay, coming up here is something that's been talked about so much is how the hell do these girls not see Ghostface pop up behind her? You know, that's been a huge complaint. Not necessarily a complaint, a lot of nitpicking about it, you know, and yeah, it's obvious, but I like to think of they're so in the moment talking to each other, so frantic. They just don't see in their peripherals. They're just so
Mix around. Yeah, again, this is a time thing. I think we shot this at like 4
Yeah.
o'clock,
yeah.
and Rachel had to fly back the next day or the day after, something like that. So had we
Yeah.
have had, and like everything boils down to our time constraints and like
Yeah.
shooting this for months on end, but like with scheduling actors, like we were flying people down, so like they obviously have to make their flight back and stuff. So that's the problem that we ran into a lot. So like, yes, I would have liked a little more with this, but
Yeah, and you know, people always say, well, if you had time to fly them down, why didn't y'all have time to prepare? And it's like, well, you got to understand, when we fly them down, we can only have them for like a half a day or a day. So there's only so much that we can prepare. And, you know, it gets tough. It gets tough. We don't have a whole week or two like big budget movies to shoot with these actors.
exactly. And then when you're not just dealing with one person's schedule, you're dealing with 5 or 6 people's schedules. And then not only dealing with the crew's schedules as well. Like we're a fan film. Everybody's doing this because we love making, love Scream, and we wanted to come together. But everybody has their own schedules, and it's hard to line those up. And that was just one of the downfalls of this. Is like some things that we would have fixed that, yes, people notice. We noticed too. We've seen this.
Oh yeah.
We would have loved it. It just wasn't. It wasn't in our time frame. It wasn't in our budget. So.
And we can't just film people in a 20 by 20 room and then insert it in later.
Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what a lot of people don't understand when they make comments like that. And I'm not saying comments like that are bad. You know, I get people's complaints, and you know, of course, I totally understand what they're coming from. But a lot of people just don't realize the logistics of dealing with all of these actors. Like Jordan said, flying in from New York, flying in from Florida, coming in from Austin. It gets tough when you don't have the time that you want. Like I would love to have like 3-4 straight weeks to shoot with actors all day, every day. That'd be fucking great, you know. But we got to work with what we got, man. Now, I know we've been talking a lot, but all that scene was a reshoot at the front door.
Melted with those roses.
Yeah.
Yeah, Enoch, the way he played that was so Skeet Ulrich, so Billy Loomis. It was so reminiscent. He even said the line to me, and I bet you did that on purpose.
Yeah, of course.
It works so well. He's so good in that scene.
There's my truck, by the way.
Yeah.
Like all 3 of our vehicles made it into this movie, bro.
Happened.
All right, let's talk about this sequence, man.
Oh yeah, I'm very, very, very grateful that we got the opportunity to reshoot this.
Yeah. Now, just to clarify real quick, and I said this in the last commentary, the reason Jackie just stands back there and does nothing is because when we reshot this sequence, she wasn't there, so I had to use old footage.
Yeah.
And the scene originally was like a half a minute long. It was so short, so I didn't have much footage of her to work with. So that's why, if we could have gotten her back, I would have done something different, had her get in the fight or run in the house or something like that, but I couldn't do it. So that's why she's there in the corner.
Yeah. And like, these aren't meant to be excuses. This is just like showing you the logistics behind.
Right.
Like
just so people might hear it and be like, oh, that's why they did that. Okay.
Like we noticed it too. Like we
Yeah, this
see
was a
it.
fun night. This was a late night. It was a hot night. And JP and in the costume and John here they went for it, man.
Yeah, they were awesome. I love how he turns and looks at her before he does the final blow.
Didn't Enoch like smash his nose or something? There?
No, I think that was Omar. He punched Connor in the face, I think.
Oh, okay. I thought JP said that like Enoch smashed him in the nose and it actually.
Oh, he did when he moved the mask up. Yeah, you're right. That's your VFX, by the way. Good shot.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
This was the reshoots. So the stuff that happened the first time we shot in the garage.
Oh,
Did it happen this time?
can we talk about that?
Can we?
I mean, go ahead, man. It's open forum.
Yeah, we were shooting in the garage the first time.
By the way,
And-
you got to put this in the DVD or the BTS because I know we have it on footage.
We totally will. Yeah, so I won't say which Ghostface performer it was, but we had two different knives, the one with the grip and the one without the grip. We had the fake one and we had the real one, right? And then, but somehow the real knife, long story short, flew out of Ghostface's hand, right past my neck, like hit the garage door behind me. I was operating the boom.
Within a foot from his face.
Everyone thought I was dead. You guys looked over the corner.
In the way the garage.
Wait, by the way, I love this shot, by the way. My favorite shot, one of them.
That's
like
my
that
favorite
shot a
shot
lot.
in the movie.
Yeah, I love that shot, man.
Lily, what's going on?
But yeah, so the way the garage is set up though, there's like this where they, you know, where they hang their shoes. It's in one of the shots. I'll point it out in a second. Or no, it's already passed. But there's like a little wall in between where Gabe was standing and where I was shooting. So when that knife flew out,
You thought he was dead.
corner being like, please don't be dead.
And you're like, yeah, I'm awesome. That was so cool.
It's like, if I died on a Scream movie, that's the way to go.
I almost got killed by Ghostface.
Yeah, he was loving it, man. So this was a fun night, having everybody there at the house, all the cops and Jackie. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, this was one of those nights where we had a lot of people, and this was like one of those party nights, you know?
Oh yeah.
We had
Yeah.
pizza, and it was
It's literally right to the, if you're facing into the house, right to the left of where Jackie and Anthony are there. There's probably like 20 people just sitting in the room just watching.
Oh yeah.
Like
So
the
much
house-
food too in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
It was like the house was our studio, and we would just film with different people for one scene in one room, and then different people in another room. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. This was a different night.
It was Enix hand.
And,
Yeah, Enoch's hand. This is Connor in the suit right here. Not JP. I wish I would have had Drew like punch him in the face right here or something like that.
He was already stabbed in the back. He's just kind of holding on for dear life there.
Yeah. He's now this
Gosh.
right here.
Shout out to Troy. This is
Brutal right here.
The way we all looked at each other after we shot this.
It was every take. Like he had like 4 or 5 good takes. That scream is just haunting.
Yeah, it's so brutal, man. And the way JP like did the motion, just sold it so well, both of them.
Okay, you're safe now. You hear me? You're safe. I need you to tell me what happened.
I love Anthony, man.
Oh yeah.
Jackie too. Both of them just were so great here. Now this was a fun night. People have said, where did Ghostface come from? There's a table right that Omar runs right by that he was under, and he just popped out real quick.
Like actually where it was.
Yeah.
Omar and Connor they really brought it in this.
He really punched Connor right here on accident.
Connor was a trooper, man. I love
Yeah,
Connor.
he was so good.
My hand, by the way.
I always forget that's your aunt. But- Jordan.
Oh, thanks, man.
This shot was fun to get.
Yeah. Talk about this, Jordan. The pool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I had an underwater camera cage, and I went down there, and it just like it wasn't giving me the look I wanted. So then, easily enough, we just I don't even think we taped it. I think we just set a GoPro down there.
Yeah, you just placed it. Yeah.
Swam down there, set it up the way I wanted, and Omar just jumped in the pool 3 or 4 times until we got the one we wanted.
And I was like, it was July 31st, turning into August. I was like, it's hot out here, so I just jumped in the pool while we were shooting that too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun night. Now, the reason I've heard some people say, like, the door's wide open, why is he just sitting there the whole time with her? Ghostface can easily come up behind him. It's like, well, you got to think he is so, like, in the moment with the Ghostface stuff. It's coming back to haunt him. And then he sees a picture of Sydney. Then he realizes it's her daughter, and he kind of freezes for a minute. And ultimately, that's what gets him shot, is his mind gets off, oh, shit, I'm not aware of my surroundings. And then finally, when he does realize, like, oh, shit, no, we got to get you out of here. Come with me. It's too late.
Yeah, and
So,
I mean,
and I think Anthony sold that really well.
how much fun is a horror movie when, like, the characters make good decisions? You know?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. And I love this VFX right here with the blood.
Oh, I appreciate that, man.
And now this is Tula in the suit.
Yeah.
I like this, like the subtle step over Anthony he does.
Yeah. And I love how Nightmare on Elm Street is Wes Craven's presence looming over the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like this there. Just a little nod that Anthony's still down there.
Why are you doing this?
Was he actually there when?
I think Anthony, for a good majority of these shots, were actually standing there. I know, at least on Tula's coverage, because I think we were concerned about if we got too far back, if Anthony would still be there. So I think he was still laying there. Jackie's coverage, I'm sure he was there.
Shooting this scene was awesome. Like, I remember just looking around and seeing Tula unmasked as Ghostface and Jackie. It just
with the incredible makeup job on his face, by the way.
It felt
From
like
Christie. She just killed it, man.
Yeah, it felt like we were in a Scream movie.
Yeah,
Wait, Jackie and Michael were just so good here.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I remember this was the night where, like, more than any other night, I think, like, where I was like, just like, I was having trouble keeping the shot because I was too just invested in what they were doing.
Yeah.
To watch Tula do that monologue over and over and over.
And I think, a lot of people don't know this is probably pushing 4 a.m. right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he was doing different stuff with it every time. It was awesome.
I think one of the last shots of this sequence, like when he's dead, that was like at the very end of that night. It was almost 5 a.m. by the time we left.
Oh yeah.
That was a long night, bro. And then when they're fighting on the floor, it's like 4:30 in the morning. Jackie's just so fucking worn out. Tula's tired. You're tired. Everybody's tired. It's like, holy shit, man.
Everyone was tired, but we all pushed through, and I think we delivered.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that night. Now that you remember that, we were there till like 5 a.m. I don't even think I went to sleep. We went to your house for a little bit.
To my house.
We went to your house. We looked at the footage, looked at the BTS, and then the sun was coming up, so I was like, I'm just gonna drive around, and I drove back to this house and just reminisce because I was like, man, I feel like we just survived the night in a Scream movie.
And you had to work that next morning at the church, didn't you, Jordan?
Yeah, I had to be up that.
Yeah, that was brutal, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, Tula, man, Michael here, just incredible.
Yeah. And Jackie just matches him too. Like she is.
And I got to give credit to them, man. A lot of this is their dialogue. They worked out a lot of the dialogue, figured out some things to say, and they worked on this scene a lot, man. And I think it shows.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna let you ruin this for me. It's been 10 years in the making. I came this close to getting your mom and son of a bitch husband ruin everything.
I was getting kind of caught up in the monologue.
I know, so it was like, there it is again.
This line makes me laugh.
Yeah.
I love the sort of dark humor element that you also have instilled in this, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to go a little more serious on with this. I know a lot of people have said it's not meta enough to be a Scream, but that was kind of a personal choice. I just didn't want to get too crazy with the meta-ness, and the horror references. I kind of wanted to be more subtle and more serious toned. And some people like it, some prefer the meta stuff, but it's just personal choice.
Yeah, well, you know,
I think it works.
Yeah, I think the most meta thing you could have done was essentially kill the meta by killing Zoe, because she is the sort of the, if she's also a Gale archetype character, she's also sort of the Randy archetypal Scream character, because you have Katie, who's the, you have Tula, who's the killer, you have Anthony, who's the cop. So we have all of these archetypal Scream characters, the final girl, the reporter, the movie guy, and they're all in here. And I think that's what's really script and the characters and the group that you put together.
Yeah. Jackie sells this so good right here. And right here when she's getting choked, I love this sequence right here. Just his intensity, her like helplessness. I love it, man. She went for it, man.
Oh yeah, she was turning purple after this. She was holding her breath.
Here comes Gabe's hand.
There we go.
Finally got to play Ghostface, and I have Ghostface's truck.
Yeah, no, back to, I forgot, I missed the part, but the Jackie with the blood on her mouth. That
yeah.
That's, see that as like
I know we've said this before, but Jackie has like 5 different looks in this movie. It's kind of crazy.
This right here, her hair flips around, she looks like a whole different person.
She does. And we're not saying it's a bad thing. It's just, it's crazy how the hairstyle can change your appearance, kind of.
You kind of lull the audience in, and you kind of forget that there might be a scare, and then it just scares you because you let your guard down.
And I really wanted to sell that she was the one to finish him off.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, he kind of helped save the day, but in the end, she's the one that puts him down finally. And I thought that was a good homage to Sydney and Billy.
Got what he wanted. Like back with the scene when he's talking with Troy, he wanted to save the people. Like that's his ultimate goal, and he got to do that. He got to protect.
Yeah.
And Katie got to almost get her revenge in a way. So I think they
of course
ended up getting
100%, man. And of course here they kind of make a little joke, you know, like, where'd you learn to shoot that? Oh, we taught your mom to, you know, it's kind of, let's get out of here, you know. But when it all wears down, they won in the end, but they both lost a lot. It came at a big cost. So I wanted to show that. I kind of wanted to end it more on a somber note, like, shit, man. Yeah, they won in the end, but he lost his partner. She lost, 3-4 people close to her. So, yeah, I mean,
I was thinking like, here it goes again. Like I couldn't save him, and then he sees his partner, and then that's when he's already vulnerable by being like, oh, I couldn't save this person, and then boom, he sees his partner, and that's what pushes him over the edge.
Yeah.
So it's there, and I think it works.
I think all of those elements are kind of what makes horror movies and slasher movies in particular carry on and persevere, is because in real life, bad things happen. We lose people, but we persevere and we carry on, and sometimes we end up being the final girl, the survivor, you know?
Yeah.
That's ultimately why these movies still mean so much to people, and why all of these fans are really being so responsive.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I love Julia's performance here.
Oh, she's so good. Yeah, she's amazing in this.
Yeah.
I love Jackie's too, but just Julia, great stuff here.
No, everybody all around, like everybody just did an outstanding job. This was
and then
amazing.
of course the tag with Sydney here, you know, just we felt it was necessary.
Yeah.
Mom.
People loved it.
Yeah.
I love seeing the reactions to Sydney's voice.
Yeah, man, we've gotten a lot of y'all want to run through the credits too, or you want to stop it here?
Let's honor everyone who worked on it.
Yeah, we could talk over the credits. But yeah, I thought that was a good, nice homage to, you know, the very, very end. Fuck it, you know, let's just put Sydney in there, you know, to some degree.
In some way, yeah, for sure.
And it makes sense because the first thing she would do is call her mother, so it makes a lot of sense. Like,
yeah, DP.
Yep. Shout out to Molly here.
She was amazing.
Shout out to Sheila. Shout out to this guy who edited the movie.
There you go.
Shout out to Lance and David. Love those guys. They both worked from LA. Lance and David.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good point earlier. How like we had like people scattered throughout the country working on this.
Really did.
But it still
Really
felt
did.
like a group of people too. you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah. And I really wanted to homage the original trilogy's credit, so I did it exactly like the original 3 to the T.
Yeah.
Like even the the slowing down of the shots, the freeze frame, everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and even though a lot of us are in different states, we're in different places, like movie, it brought us together, and it will always continue to bind us together.
for sure.
We've always got this
Yeah.
movie.
We need to get everybody back together.
It's
Yeah.
kind of a big cast when you really look at it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were making this, and
Brandon.
Brandon. We were
Love
making this.
Brandon.
Man, this must be what it felt like to be the Scream, the cast and crew of Scream back in the day, just isolated in their little bubble making a scary movie. It's awesome. That's what it felt like. It was
Here
cool.
we are 25 years later and they're still all together.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Most of them.
Which you just saw a lot of them at Frightmare, Gabe.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was cool seeing Jamie Kennedy's reaction to the movie. I was like, he commented on it, but I wonder if he actually saw it or just watched pieces of it. But I went up to him and I was like, hey, I just wanted to personally thank you for commenting on the movie. It really meant a lot to us. And he perked up and he's like, oh yeah, I saw it, man. It was really good. I liked it. And I was like, no way, this is actually happening. And it was cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there's no greater honor than to have someone who's in these movies, give you compliments on that.
Yeah, and
It means a lot. It means a lot.
Yeah, and there's my best buddy Carson. Yeah, great.
Yep, Carson was there a lot.
Yeah, and but yeah, it was cool talking to.
Shout out to you and Carson showing up in wedding attire one night on set.
Yeah, that was when we were shooting the. Yeah, we had a wedding right before. We came straight from there.
Yeah, that was funny.
Sam Raimi, dress nice on set every once in a while. Yeah.
Fucking Gabe shows up in slacks and a button-up t-shirt.
Yeah, making a Scream movie.
Yeah, that was a fun night, man.
That was a fun night.
This whole thing was a fun experience. So glad.
It really was. It really was. It was a lot of fun. Now, I mean, took a while, but it was a lot of fun. Met a lot of really good people, so
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
grateful.
That was like the main portion of our lives for so long, and now like we're able to see the final product. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember telling you guys, like, when this came out, when we put this on YouTube and released it, there was like a week or so. I remember talking to Anthony a lot because we usually talk about every day, and I remember talking to him at one point, like, fuck, bro, I don't know what to do. Like, this has been all we've known for the last 6-7 months. Like, what the fuck? What do we do now? Like, it was kind of like you didn't know what to do for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of weird.
For me too, like I was seeing like you get to see these talented people come together and all perform and just give it their all, and then you're starting to pick out and you're starting to think like looking forward for future projects. You're like, oh, they did this and that they would be perfect for this idea that I had, that I couldn't have the right person, but now that was what you just did there. That's perfect. That'll be perfect for this. So it's like you're networking, you're building your crew, you're building working relationships with talented people. I think this was a fun experience, like all around, like, and I hope that we all get together and do more things because I am very looking forward to it.
absolutely.
For sure, man. And I've seen a lot of comments like, I can't wait to see what you guys do next. Because, I've gotten, of course, the endless comments of a sequel, which I've said, I don't want to do another sequel. I don't want to do another fan film. Just because, we want to do original stuff. We can't really do too much with fan films. We want to do stuff that we can try to get out there, get on streaming, get distribution. We want to do original stuff,
Always fun
With
to
that-
play. So,
100%, 100%. But with that being said, it's like, I've told people, hey, no, I probably won't do a sequel. And they're like, well, either way, I'm excited to see what y'all do next. And it's like, man, that's what I love hearing,
Yeah.
whatever you guys do next, man, I can't wait to see. So that means a lot. Yeah, man. If y'all got anything else to add, you got any closing remarks before we get out of here?
Let's move on to the next thing because I am very excited.
Yeah, let's get back to shooting. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm almost done with the script on the next one, man. So once we get that up and going, hopefully we can shoot that later this summer. Have a lot of fun with that.
Sweet.
That'll be cool. Thanks again for joining me, guys. It's been a lot of fun to reminisce with you.
All right, man. Thanks for having us.
We'll see y'all next time, man.
All
All right.
See you
Later.
later.